everyone, this is once again Expert JNG and welcome back to our channel. One of the things I do in this channel is sharing ESL educational videos as a non-native English teacher. Recently, one of my subscribers asked a very interesting question about what it's like to be a non-native English teacher abroad. This is a very good question and I'm sure many other non-native English speakers ask, especially when thinking of going overseas to teach English. So yes, I finally decided to put this video together and hopefully be able to answer my subscribers' questions and also to give you guys an idea about what it's really like to be a non-native English teacher. If you are a non-native English speaker who wants to teach English abroad, then definitely stay tuned. But just a very quick reminder, if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you will be notified anytime I upload a new video. Being a non-native English speaker means that you speak another language or other languages other than English. For example, I'm from the Philippines and my national language is Tagalog. And I also have another local dialect which is Ilocano and another localized dialect of Ilocano which we speak in our village called Itneg. My point is, we may not be expected to use English perfectly, but when we teach, we are expected to be able to teach it to others, just like how we learn to speak it ourselves. So I might not be able to cover all her questions in this single video, but I'll try my best to share my thoughts and give you guys some ideas based on my experience both in Thailand and here in China. Before we get started, let me show you my subscribers' comment real quick. Today, I'll be focusing on 4 different topics. Number 1, expectations. 2, qualifications. 3, salary. And number 4, I'll give you some tips and advice. Let's get started. Number 1, expectations. Generally speaking, different schools have their own standards of what they are looking for. Unfortunately, if you are a non-native English speaker, the fact remains that there are more challenges we have to deal with than if we were native speakers. This is not a discouragement, and please don't get me wrong. This is just an honest heads up about what will be expected from schools. Oftentimes, we are often judged by where we're from and not by our credentials or skills, and oftentimes we have to work harder than others just to prove that we're capable of teaching the English language. A lot of schools are only open to hire native English speakers, but many are also willing and desiring to hire non-native English speakers like us. But sometimes even the school wants to hire non-native English speakers, they might have difficulty issuing a working visa. But again, it's not the same in every school. It's not the same in every place. It's not the same in every country. These are just some general issues that can happen. If you don't find a place at one school, move on to another. It is beyond our control. It is what it is. And if you see a place saying only native speakers, send an application anyway. If they get back to you, that's good. If not, move on. Another very important tip to remember is when applying, make sure to have good communication with your potential employer or agent and make sure to make a list of the things you want to ask them, and if they can't give you a straight answer, then that might be a red flag. 2, qualifications. In Thailand, it's much easier to get a job with a bachelor's degree, especially in education or English. However, you will definitely find a job or schools that are willing to hire people who don't have a degree in any of these fields as well. No matter what degree you have, be upfront and just be confident in your skills and your willingness to learn. Here in China, the hiring standard is a bit higher and most schools require TEFL or TESOL certificate, and not all provinces issue a working visa to non-native speakers. So make sure to ask this to your potential employer first or do some research on your own, including reaching out to expat teacher groups that are already in the country. Examples of documents you might need for visa application in China are as follows: authenticated police clearance from your home country, authenticated degree or your diploma, recommendation from your previous job, TEFL certificate or any other certificate related to English. In Thailand, TEFL and TESOL certificate aren't required, but there is another English standard test you need to take called TOEIC test. It is required when getting a working permit, so make sure to take it. These things I mentioned are requirements you have to acquire yourself, and other documents will be provided by the school you're going to work with. Now, let's move to number 3, salary. So again, different schools pay differently. In Thailand, the salary for non-native speakers is usually between 20,000 baht to 35,000 baht, compared to native English speakers who may get paid starting at 35,000 up to 60,000 baht. So again, for non-natives, it depends on your qualifications, or it depends on the school. The place where the school is also plays a big part. A school in a rural area may have a very different salary scale than one in a big city. And here in China, I heard from a Filipino expat group that a salary for non-native English speakers should range between 8,000 to 15,000 RMB. But again, it depends on your credentials, on your qualifications, and the location of the school as well. And number 4, tips and advice. Before we end this video, let me give you a very important piece of advice. We as non-native English speakers should be willing to continually educate ourselves and be willing to improve our own language proficiency. Since it's not our first language, we must really try to master the language as best we can. We shouldn't be too comfortable or complacent and think we are good enough and don't need to improve. Just like any other parts of our lives, there are still plenty of things we need to learn. I'm saying this based on my personal experience. I went abroad a few years after I graduated from university, and I thought I was good enough, but soon realized I still have plenty of things I need to work on. For example, I had to learn the difference between American English and British English, such as the difference of what the letter Z is called. In American English, it is pronounced Z. British English says Z. I almost said to one of my students she was wrong for saying Z for letter Z. So little things like this matter because they weren't taught in the university, and we have to be aware as well. Also remember, please don't copy native speakers' accents. Please, don't copy native speakers' accents. Don't copy native speakers' accent. Working on our own pronunciation is more important. Personally speaking, I'm still working on this myself and other areas as well, because learning is a continuous process that will make us into great teachers for English or any subject we are teaching. All this being said, I hope I covered all the questions asked, and if you guys have any further questions or anything else you want to know about concerning teaching English as a non-native English speaker abroad, then definitely comment below. I'm also doing a part 2 on this, and I will try to make a series for you guys as needed. So that's all for today, and thank you very much for joining us today, and I hope you guys will stick around and be a part of our expat life journey, including parenting, ESL, and other parts of life that we share in this channel. Bye!